Hey gang, it's your buddy Platt here, back with another Spirit Series video. We're continuing on our discussion of rum. This episode, we'll talk about gold rum. Gold rums also can be referred to as amber rum or even aged rum. Rum snobs may say there's a difference between those styles. For our purposes, we're just going to kind of lump them in together, make it a little easier for us to work with. Gold rums tend to have a little more body than the light rums we talked about last week. A little extra kind of mouthfeel, viscosity, maybe even, than those light rums. Obviously, you can tell there's additional color. Now we got a little color there. And all that comes mainly from wood. These rums have spent time in wooden barrels, usually charred oak barrels. Most of them were used bourbon barrels. This helps produce a stronger, more intense flavored rum. I remember light rums, or I refer to them as kind of the vodka of rums. They're just a nice, clean, general sweetness to the spirit. Not much more than that. Here, because of that aging, we're starting to pick up other things. We're picking up some of those classic wood notes, obviously oak, but even toffee, vanilla, maybe a little caramel. From that, again, the longer it stays in that wood barrels, the more of those flavors we'll get. Similar to, again, what we get out of a barrel when we're aging, whiskey. Even though this, I'm not saying this tastes like whiskey, but it's picking up those same classic wood notes. Because we discussed in the rum video that because rum's made everywhere in a lot of places, we're talking about countries a little looser labeling requirements or whatever. There are no hard, fast rules on minimum aging of these rums. How long they could go or how little they get to go. Also, some countries and some places will allow for the addition of caramel coloring, so all that color might not necessarily be from the wood. Also, too, when you're dealing with age statements with rums, there aren't really, the rules of the road are a little different. As we learned with Scotch and bourbon, if it says 8-year, 10-year, 12-year, that is the youngest spirit in that bottle. There could be older, but there won't be any younger. Rum's a little different. Depending on the country it comes from, sometimes if that says 8-year-old rum, it's 8-year-old rum. Other places, that age, if it says a 10-year-old rum, that could be the oldest rum in there. So if you had a bottle of 10-year-old rum, there could be a couple ounces of 10-year-old rum, but there could be some 8s, some 6s. Don't know for sure. So that is kind of a buyer beware on some of the aged rums. You might want to do a little research if that's something you're worried about. If you just like the taste of it, then it kind of doesn't matter. Gold rums, unlike the light rums, again kind of highlighted the cleanliness, the distillation filtration. Gold rums kind of highlight the blender. This is similar to what we talked about with blended Scotch. A lot of these gold, amber, even aged rums are a blend of multiple different rums. They can be some pot stilled rums, along with some column stilled rums, rums of varying age, what have you. And so then it's that blender's ability to bring these unique flavors from these different rums and kind of create a whole picture. So, again, the master blender is on display in this bottle. Some blenders of these rums actually use something called the Solero system. If you're a fan of sherry, you know what I'm talking about. It's a series or multiple levels of barrels where, in this case, younger rums come in from the top. They work their way through the series of barrels, aging along the way, blending with other rums of various age till they get to the bottom, and that's where, after X amount of time in aging and blending, then you pull those rums out to be bottled. And I thought that was a pretty neat approach there. I haven't heard of the Solera system generally being used for anything else but sherry. Gold rums and amber rums tend to be kind of sit somewhere between the light rums and the dark rums. Again, we talked about light rums being the vodka rums, not much flavor. Now we're getting a little aging, a little complexity, and eventually when we talk about dark rums, we know that these don't quite have the oomph, the intensity of flavor. And but because they kind of sit somewhere in between, they do have versatility. If you wanted to use a gold rum in a cocktail, whether it just be something simple like a Cuba Libre or even a mojito, it's fine. These still have enough of that general sweetness, still light enough body, mouth feel that they could work in cocktails. But some of them too also have enough complexity, and again, those unique wood notes that sip on the rocks or even try neat. The particular gold one we're going to try today is called George Ocean Gold Rum. Little 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Pull back the curtain a little bit. When I go to buy spirits for these videos or whatever, sometimes I'll go with the classic brand just because I think it helps teach things easier. If you remember with the scotches, I had Johnny Walker, I had Doers, but sometimes I like to throw something different in. And sometimes it's just me walking through the aisle, I'm like, hey, I've never seen that before, I'll give her a try, or they have a good deal on it. Just to be honest. This was a little bit of both. I was just walking through the rum aisle looking for a gold rum, and I saw the label and never heard of George Ocean. Maybe a cool guy, who knows? And they had a reasonable price on it, so I thought, well, I'll give it a try. I'll try something new, and I'll research somebody or something I may need to know. So I bought this bottle, and on the back it said a website, georgeoceanrum.com. So I got home and I started researching. Kind of a generic website. The bottle has an anchor on it, and you go to the website, and there's vague references towards sailing. There's like a little, not even a paragraph about sailing the ocean and storms or something like that. But after that, that was about it. No reference to who George Ocean was, who the founder of this rum is, any details of this pot still, column still, this, that, and the other. Only thing it talked about is they do have 4 other varieties. They have a white rum, a spiced rum, and a couple of flavored rums. I think a coffee flavored rum, something like that. So I thought, well, that's curious. Let's see who makes this. Well, I found that it was produced by a company called Dynasty Spirits. Went researching Dynasty Spirits, found out they have a couple other products, one being Tower Vodka. Now, I purchased this at Total Wine Spirit. I know it's Tower Vodka, Total Wine Spirit, so I'm like, all right, well, this got to be somewhat legit company because there's a couple of their products here. Did a little more research. Dynasty Spirits was sued a few years back by Jack Daniels over a trademark infringement. They had another product called Lone Hand Whiskey, which was also a Total Wine and Spirit. And if you saw the bottle, it's square like a traditional Jack Daniels bottle, black label, black shrink wrap on top. They use the term Tennessee sour mash. You can tell it's Jack Daniels inferred. I mean, it'll be up to the courts to decide if it's real trademark infringement. Like, I knew that wasn't Jack Daniels. But again, they were wanting to kind of skirt that line. But anyway, doing more and more research, I couldn't find anything on Dynasty Spirits. Went to their website, it was down. I thought, well, all right, let me look for Tower Vodka. Couldn't find a website or anything else like that. Went back to the George Ocean website, noticed that the last quote-unquote trademark on it was 2015. Went to their social media, went to their Facebook. The last post was in 2016. So even though I don't know what happened, and if any of you out there know the story behind either George Ocean Rum or Dynasty Spirits, please leave in the comment section. I think we'd all kind of like to know the mystery. What I'm going to guess is that Dynasty Spirits had several line of spirits. They started producing them. Things didn't go well. I don't know if it's just because of the lawsuit or they just weren't moving products. But the things just kind of fell apart, and probably what happened was Total Wines was able to pick up a lot of product, pennies on the dollar in a bankruptcy, and they're like, well, hey, we've got these stores across the country. We could probably eventually move that product. We're not too worried about it going bad anytime soon. So I probably just got a nice little bargain on some rum made by a company that may not exist anymore. That being said, those folks put in a hard work to produce some gold rum for us, so let's try some gold rum. Not much color to it. Just a very light kind of straw almost color. Ugh, boy, I get a lot of heat off that nose. It's not really any complexity. Kind of burns the nostril a little bit. Let's give it a try. I get the sweet punch up front, but a little lingering. I get a slight bit of vanilla, maybe a little caramel. Not much there. That being said, this would be something you could use in cocktails. It wouldn't, if I threw it in a mojito or I don't know if whatever vanilla or whatever I get would even come through in a mojito. Pina colada would affect the color more than anything else. I don't think it'd affect the flavor too much. Not terrible though. Went down fairly easy. I think I paid $12 for this, so $12 for a bottle of rum, not a bad deal. Overall, that being said, I can see they didn't move the world with this product, so maybe that's why we didn't post anything on Facebook since 2016. Yeah, like I said, just pretty basic little rum there. Well, at least they gave it a try. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section. Or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.